it's safe to say that Oshkosh is one of the best environments to see rare aircraft, military offerings, and all kinds of really cool static displays. Today, we're going to be spotting here and catching some of the rarest aircraft in the world. I'm super excited for this, and I hope each and every one of you are as well. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Welcome everybody to Oshkosh 2023 plane spotting. I hope all of you are excited for this today, as we're going to be seeing a bunch of really cool aircraft. We have some awesome lighting to work with here on the Tuesday of Oshkosh 2023. So again, we got so much to dive into. We got like 500 pictures of some really cool aircraft, some that you've probably never seen before, and quite frankly, some that I'm not going to be able to remember. So a little first and foremost disclaimer that I may get some of the aircraft names wrong, so I apologize about that, but that shows you how cool they are, and once again, we're going to be seeing some really great aircraft. So we're not going to waste any further time. Go ahead and get started. Feel free to go online and follow along. I know there's a long list of aircraft performing list out there, but I do know this one, and that's Doc, the B-29, which is such a cool aircraft that we've seen before at Tulsa International Airport and other places. So really cool to see it, as you can see right here, flying over. I think it's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon or so, so the lighting will get better and better as time goes on, but it was really cool to see this aircraft, as it's always a treat. And again, there's going to be a bunch of these that I don't know, so apologies in advance, but it's really cool. This might be a B-17 of sorts. I could be wrong, but anyway, it looks really cool from underneath. And then I did get a couple static pictures. I'll be making it its own video on the static display, so stay on the lookout for that. But you got a really cool T-38 and KC-135 here, and a Heritage T-6, the Dreamlifter, which are just really great. And again, it'll have its own video, so stay on the lookout for that. These prop planes, I honestly have really no idea for the most part, so I'm just going to kind of show you them because I don't know what they are. This is some sort of really cool high wing aircraft, and then that's some sort of Spitfire or equivalent. I'm not exactly sure. I believe this is the MiG-23. I might be getting that wrong, but I believe this is a MiG-23. So really unfortunate circumstances is what happened here in 2023. Just really unfortunate, obviously. I'm sure many of you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it definitely was quite a capable aircraft, as you can see here, just tearing it up. And yeah, just really unfortunate to think about how that all went down and the situation that unfolded with that. So all thoughts and obviously prayers going out to everybody that was affected during that time. So just crazy to look back upon it and see it flying here. But obviously you can definitely tell how capable of an aircraft it is with the wings in and out. So quite the situation, there's no doubt about it, but you can certainly see it tearing it up here. Some sort of Cub, I don't know exactly what it is, but we're just gonna pretend I do. Once again, some sort of really cool acrobatic experimental plane right here, pretty cool. They all have really great liveries as well. Some sort of Cessna, not exactly sure what the exact sub-variant, but we'll just pretend that we do for the sake of this, this video, so there we go. But nevertheless, you can just see the amount of diversity, how close that they park on near the taxiway, also how close the flight line is to the taxiway too. This is a really beautiful blue aircraft here, which is awesome. There's that MiG that we were just talking about. Really unfortunate, just crazy. I don't even know what the proper phrasing for it is, considering the circumstances, of course, but you can definitely tell some really cool captures were captured with regards to the picture image quality. So at least that's somewhat of a positive. Here's a really cool beach. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It might be a Piper, might be a beach. I don't know. But anyway, I'm not even going to try on that one, but it's pretty darn cool, whatever it is. So it's some sort of really short prop with the almost like a military wing design, and that's what really Oshkosh is all about, is seeing these aircraft that you're not going to see anywhere else. And there's no doubt that these are super nice and very unique in their respective ways. So I'll do my best to try to show tail numbers for a little bit longer in this video, so if you're interested in what aircraft is, like this one, 918 Romeo Alpha, you can take a look. But no clue, but it's pretty cool. Whatever it is, that tail is very unique, along with the bi-wing design on top of that. So it flies, it does, so you'll see it. And then this is a really cool aircraft of sorts with a Mustang on the tail, so that's pretty cool. Again, I have no idea, but it's pretty sweet. Now, this aircraft can definitely do a bank, and you can see on the left side there's also some sort of aircraft, which is pretty cool, but the banks of some of these aircraft that are capable of are really cool. This is one of those with the propeller in the back. I'm not very familiar. This was really cool. They did have a display for this. I'll try to feature in the experience video or one of the walk around videos. This is a GB1 Game Bird, which is really cool. So you can like customize it completely. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a absolute fortune if you do, but if you want to buy one, you are capable of customizing it to any sort of configuration that you want, which is super cool. There's a bunch of different features, amenities, and other such pieces to the puzzle in that. So it's a really cool aircraft. So very cool to see that one being demonstrated there. Once again, probably older aircraft with that, and apologies about the focus. I do think it gets better, but it's pretty rough here to start. Again, one of those, I don't know what it is. This is a non-fuselage aircraft, which is pretty sweet. Well, I mean, I guess technically this could be the fuselage, but you know, a skeleton only aircraft, so that's really cool. Another very neat livery here with the eagle, kind of getting an American Airlines vibe right here. It's kind of, I don't know if they cheated on purpose or not, but that's pretty cool regardless of whatever the capacity is. There's that one we saw previously. Same song, second verse. Third song, third verse. Now this one I don't think we've seen yet, but it's really cool with the US flag underneath, so that's pretty sweet. I think we've seen all these at some point, so we know the drill, but of course they were doing their performance, so quite a unique assortment of aircraft. This is another cool one, a little bit more standard. This is also a Canada aircraft, so there's a bunch of Canadian aviation presence at Oshkosh, which is really cool, more than some of the other countries with its proximity to Canada, so that's great. There's that Game Bird once again. It's a really cool aircraft. Definitely look up their website. Got on there and looked at some of the different features that you could add to the airplanes, and it's pretty extensive, so that's really cool. Another cool aircraft right there, and there's that aircraft banking in, now doing a low pass down the runway. They really showed it off, and rightfully so. It is a really cool aircraft, and you can tell it's very capable of doing whatever you want. Very similar for this aircraft too. Don't know what it is, but I know that's pretty cool. So it's one of the biggest highlights about Oshkosh. You see a bunch of planes that you just aren't familiar with at all, and it's really cool to just watch them fly by. So here goes 124 Sierra Gulf just blasting across, so that's really sweet. Okay, here's another very cool aircraft. These were the Navy ones, and I'm forgetting what the name was. Trying to think if I could think of it real quick, but there were several of these. But anyway, really good light, and trying to get my focus perfected. It gets better as time goes on, but as you can tell, they're very cool with their acrobatic demonstration, so that was great. And then we have cars always around too, and then I was showing somebody the concept of leveling photos right there, so that's why you saw how crooked it was. That was not intentional outside of just showing what the demonstration was. So leveling is an important concept, so cool to think about it. There's a Titan fuel truck. Nice to see that one too, and showing off again. Here's the absolute warbird lineup that one would dream and hope for. Full-on army of them. Gosh dang it, I want to say like T-35s. I'm forgetting what they are. I can't remember it off the top of my head, and that's very frustrating because there's like 24 of them here. But we're going to see the whole squad take off, and it was really cool to see them, especially on the flyover. You'll see that shortly. Okay, so there's the first two. We got I think that's a gray color along with yellow. Another set of grays, which is really cool, one darker than the other, which is quite nice, or metallic silver if you want to call it that. There's another cool one of those, and then we also have a green hinted one with the black, which is nice. So very cool to see all what's going on here. And here's a digital camo along with another red and white, so that's pretty cool. Here's a silver in red with another red and white, very nice. Or tan, or not, I'm sorry, gray, or whatever color you want to say it is. Two yellows, and then there go the boys. So we're going to see them flying over here shortly. Here's another set, and there's the Marine set, pretty cool. And here's another one, and another one, and another one. Just trying to not go too fast so you all can see these beautiful planes, but they are really nice, so that's a huge highlight. And another set, some really cool color variation in these from the Navy. It's really sweet. And the other branches that are involved, of course. Got a little shaded for that one, but that's fine. And then you got this one. I think this was the last one out, I believe. So that puts us up to it's like 24. So full on army, man. I mean, it's just so cool to see them in formation and doing what they do best. I think we got 4 sets of 4 right here, and then there's a couple of additional ones, but we're a little over 20 regardless. So that was a cool portrait shot right there to get them all featured. So I thought that was pretty sweet. And they also have some really cool additional features like the smoke there, so that's cool. And here they all come across. Kind of tough to get really good shots with how much smoke's there, but hey, it's still really cool. So that's really nice to see them all in formation. They go from as many as 6 close to each other like this to as many as 4. So that's pretty sweet. You can see all the different colors, liveries, branches. This one I think is Canada, so you can just really tell how much coordination and planning goes into all this and all the different branches and what they're representing here. So I just think that's really cool. So these are some really awesome ways to think about that captured, and take a look. Helicopters also come in as well. Big helicopter event. Another demonstrational aircraft. I believe this was the Edge with the really cool colors on it. So that was quite sweet. With the panel down here, you can also see where it's transparent. So that's cool. Here's another one. This one is purple, or that just might be a different, it's the same one, I think, just a different angle on the color, which just shows you how interesting that paint is. So that's really neat. And there it goes. Very, very interesting concept. There is I want to say it's a Baron of sorts. I might be wrong, but anyway, good looking aircraft. And then we have this Thunderbird just tearing it up. You can tell how fast it's moving with the shutter speed. And while the pictures aren't perfect, there's some that are pretty good, like that one. That was really good. So really trying to perfect the camera settings. In this case, it's kind of tough. I think we got close to a thunderstorm this day. I might be wrong, but I think that's why the planes were shaded for an extended period. I think there was an anvil somewhere, but it eventually clears, so you'll see here in a moment. Anyway, looking nice though, and there goes that demonstrational aircraft once again, looking really strong. 1-4 Juliet Papa, and you can see a variety of aircraft over there, and that's like the Ford Tri-Motor. I'm not sure what this one in the middle is, but you can see how cool this lineup is. A T6s, T38s, there's an F-18 there. We'll be seeing several of those demonstrating here very soon. Cool Gulfstream down there as well. There's a really cool aircraft, and now we're taxiing out for departure with this airframe, looking pretty sweet. That's a really cool shot right there, and it's awesome that they wave towards you as well, so you can get some really cool shots. Quicksilver on the move, and there she goes, rocking and loading and heading out. Really nice aircraft right there, looking strong. And the low pass with the gear up, I think it's really sweet that they're capable of doing that safely. So, and you see the contrast coming back here, so that's what we love to see. This aircraft was particularly cool, looking so normal, but also having the smoke features as well. So again, so many unique combinations and variants here at Oshkosh. You can really capture it all, so that's super cool. And let's just go ahead and dive into the next round of pictures. Alrighty, everybody, let's jump back into the action here. Once again, really cool color scheme on this aircraft, not to mention the really cool smoke as well, so that's pretty sweet. So what a wonderful angle this is right here, and here it comes for another moderate pass. Don't think you'd quite call it low, but maybe so. A little bit of dirt underneath, but to be expected. And I just can't believe that that aircraft is capable of doing those maneuvers. It's pretty impressive, to say the least. Here's another really cool Spitfire-like aircraft. Not exactly sure if that's what it is, but anyway, really impressive acrobatics and definitely really great for photography, even though, you know, you can barely see them at times, but then they do these moderate to low passes where you can get better angles of them, even though my camera was not really in alignment with that at that moment, but it does get better, trust me. So not bad. Let's continue through and look at this just beautiful piece of art, just tearing up the pattern. I mean, gosh, the focus is terrible. Yikes. Got to get better. But anyway, we'll find one, hopefully. They do move really fast though, so definitely have adequate camera settings and be ready to go. I was on priority mode probably at this particular moment, so I'll take the blame for that, but you know what, it is what it is. Close enough. It gets better, and there's one that's fairly decent at least. So once again, doing photo tests because we do have a really exciting aircraft coming up here in a moment, making sure the camera's ready for that. And this Bose aircraft is definitely a really cool one right here. What an awesome scheme it was, and doing a nice bank right in front of the flight line. Thank gosh it's on the front lit side in the afternoon. It's so critical for Oshkosh, and it's really great here in this moment to see this aircraft. It's got a Lycoming engine, of course, along with many other sponsors that one would expect. So really cool, but obviously plenty of cool pieces to the puzzle in this particular frame, and feeling very fortunate to catch it here. And obviously the very nice individual flying it agrees. So that's great to see. Man, just simultaneous action and looking at these aircraft and what they're capable of doing, it never ceases to amaze me, and their capabilities, you can definitely tell how sweet they look right here. So no doubt, very cool, looking really fun. So here they go, just continuing to tear up the pattern, as we can tell. And here it is that I was getting my camera ready for. Obviously, I'm a huge civil guy, so it makes sense why I was excited about this. The Delta Airlines Airbus A350 static display they had for Monday and Tuesday has arrived. This aircraft's now heading back out. I believe it was going to Detroit. And look how gorgeous that was. It was so light, it just kind of lifted off the ground, literally, and then this vertical rotation was crazy. I was a little farther down than what I probably should have been, but these angles, honestly, are really cool, particularly right here in this area. I mean, just take a look at that. 508 Delta November just lifting into the skies gracefully as it takes it back over to Detroit, probably going on a flight that night, maybe, who knows. But what a cool aircraft this is, and thank you, Delta, for bringing such a capable aircraft to display at one of the largest aviation events in the world. I definitely think it's justified considering how many people were able to take a look at it. Unfortunately, the line was, I'm just approximating, an hour and a half, 2 hours long when I went by it, so unfortunately I wasn't able to check it out in that moment, but it still is really cool to get the captured and obviously see it next to the Dreamlifter and what this aircraft's capable of. So very cool, excited for future year static displays here at Oshkosh. I hope they'll take the LA-28 or the Team USA one there at some point, but this standard delivery definitely proved powerful and great advertising for Delta, and they continue to make their footprint known in the US aviation landscape. So that's what matters here, and they did a great job. So really cool. And then here comes the bank. Look at that bank and the landing gear going up. This was one of the most overkill banks I've ever seen from 350. Now, granted, obviously they knew that there was so many people watching, so it's kind of intentional, but I mean, just look at that. Oh man, goodness gracious, that's so good. So considering that the clarity is that good on the camera, feeling very fortunate that I was capable of getting that, and the bank and the flex of the wings and every other piece there. It's such a very capable aircraft, and once again, super cool to see it. So how could you beat it? Delta's a wonderful airline. Obviously, they have pretty high ticket prices, but it is worth paying it in some cases. Definitely go on Google Flights, though, and try to find the more affordable ones because it is worth it every single time. Next up, we're on to these really cool aircraft. Of course, I don't know their names, but that's fine. It doesn't matter too much. They're really cool regardless. So we're getting that performance. And then I did a little bit of walking around and check out some cool aircraft like that looks like some sort of C-47 or DC-3 variant here on your right with a really big window in between, which is pretty cool. And on the left, you also have that aircraft too. All of us know this, but several people that go to Oshkosh love to camp out by their aircraft to save on accommodation costs. Well, I mean, you have to pay for the aircraft to be there as kind of like a slot as what it would be like at an airport. So similar concepts. So not completely free, but you know, it's a part of the process, so you can understand that a little bit. Another DC-3 variant of sorts, which is really cool. And the Legend Airlays ones, these always go to various air shows around the United States. I've seen it at the St. Louis Air Show and here as well. So if you're at one of the larger air shows, you may be able to see this aircraft. And it's a gorgeous one with the chrome fuselage and other pieces of the puzzle. Pretty traditional DC-3. So feeling very fortunate to catch it once again. And now we get into the real military action of the air show here later in the day, like 5 o'clock or whatever time it was. I believe these are New Jersey F-18s, and they absolutely tore it up before the heritage flights. So we have 523 and 506 doing what they do best. My camera focus, I admit, it was not good enough, and I feel really, you know, I feel kind of embarrassed about it because I wasn't able to get it figured out in the moment. But, you know, we were able to get some good shots, so can't take that away from it. It seemed like after the first shot of every frame, I did a little bit better. But that first shot every time, like especially when the aircraft's moving, was pretty tough. But it was either dead on and in focus or it was not very good. So here's another really cool shot here, kind of showing you how many aircraft you can find. In the overview video, I'll show you what the whole map looks like. But this is over there by the long runway 18. And you can see that many aircraft park on the west side of it, all the way down like the second 5,000 feet half, all the way up until the main area of the airport. So that's really cool. I'm not sure what this is. I think it could go on water though, so that's pretty sweet. Here's the U.S. Air Force beach of sorts, I think. Looks pretty cool next to the Legend aircraft, and you can tell that the campers were very happy to be there as well. Thank gosh for no thunderstorms at that moment. The F-18's continuing to tear it up. I may have had my small lens on too. That could have been a factor as well. I could look, but I don't want to embarrass myself even more because it's probably the big lens. So we're going to pretend that that doesn't matter too much, but yeah, you can definitely tell that we got some really good captures here, so really happy to get to see it, and it's really cool. What a wonderful looking set of aircraft. So there to go. These were a little bit better. We were getting better as time goes on. But luckily, and then we finally start to get it down here with shots like this from the VAQ 129th Squadron, which is pretty sweet. And they also have a pretty cool emblem here. It's pretty tough to see. But anyway, getting back to this though, we do have it mastered down once they finally start flying a little bit slower with the heritage flight, and finally the shots are finally becoming more acceptable. I think I finally got it figured out here with shots like this, and then I'm probably going to say that we're going to go back to another bad shot, but it's fine, close enough. And the light was pretty good, so we can make most of these work, which is great news. So these aren't quite as important. Here we go for what I was talking about here. So again, I should know what these aircraft are called. I don't off the top of my head, but anyway, you got these plus the F-18s, and feel free to roast me in the comments. I really don't mind. Obviously, all of you know that civilian's my main focal point, but I just like watching them for fun, you know, and they're really cool aircraft. And admittingly, I need to do some more posts on Instagram regarding the Oshkosh event and what I was able to see there, because it really is good, and I hope to go back maybe in 2025 or whenever it may be, but you can definitely tell how great the shots are. Yeah, see, wait for it to get focused. There we go. So as you can tell, it's a really cool lineup right here, and they look really nice. So very cool heritage flight, no doubt about it. And a little bit easier to get pictures of, but they're really nice. Just kind of scrolling through one more time because it takes so much coordination, and it's definitely worth highlighting to all the pilots and everybody involved with the structure of this, how much we appreciate it. I definitely really enjoyed it. So looking very good. Okay, let's see what we got next. We have them going north to south. So looking very nice, waiting for the focus to get back in, and there it is right there. So really cool. You can definitely tell every vantage point's different, so the spacing looks different per angle, but you can see it I was in a fairly good spot here to see it fairly evenly distributed, so very happy about that. Once again, they get the good clarity too, was great. So very happy to see that. Look at the banks and obviously all of what was going on. It finally was getting better on the F-18 shots as time went on. And they are very capable with their maneuvers and other such acrobatic actions, which is what we would expect. So very cool to see. Looking very strong and pretty fun as well. So that's wonderful. Okay, what else do we have next? Here's 506 just tearing it up once again with the bank. Very cool. Overall looking really nice, and no doubt about it, really great assortment here and looking very fun. So that's really cool. Okay, let the computer load a little bit. I haven't loaded these in probably a year, so no surprise here that it's taking its sweet time. Here's another really cool aircraft, looking quite nice. That is one of the most interesting noses I've ever seen. Interesting noses. I think that's probably not the best pronunciation there. Let's try interesting fuselage noses. That's a little bit better probably. Looking nice on those F-18s. And then I think we start to get into static displays, where I believe this video concludes. I need to check if we have another round of pictures real quick, so let me check real quick and then I'll be right back. Alrighty everybody, so just a couple more here, including, I think this is Fifi from a glance. That's really cool. Let's make sure we get a good highlight there on how cool that aircraft is. So very nice to see that. And then we got this purple Cirrus. I love the purple on it, so that's quite nice. It looks really cool. And this is a CRJ200 going into Appleton, I think. I might be wrong, but that was a pretty cool catch. Nice looking Piper Warrior Cherokee. I can finally identify one of these, so that's pretty cool. So looking very nice there as they taxi out for departure. Obviously, anybody that's here can kind of come and go as they want. And here's a really good looking aircraft as well. High wing, looking quite nice. Not even going to take a chance on that. I don't know it, but I can tell you that it's probably one of the most fundamentally interesting designed aircraft that I've ever seen in my entire life, but it looks really cool. Horizontal stabilizers on the top, plus the propeller in the back and the big windows. It's pretty cool that that's capable of flying. Same for this aircraft, although it's a little bit more understandable with that concept. It looks really cool. That's also a really nice looking aircraft right there. And most of these aircraft, some of them have signs next to them so you can get more information and all that, which is quite helpful. Looks like another Cherokee of sorts. High wing aircraft, pretty sweet. And here is another really cool tail dragger, quite cool. And here's a really cool Bonanza. I like the color of it. It's pretty cool. So the locals are flying in and out. Tuesday night's a little bit quieter, but you'll see the Wednesday night content coming up soon. This is a really cool Beechcraft B on the tail. Unfortunately, my angles of trying to get a good shot were a little tougher, but you can see I did pull it off, so very nice to see that. It'll take quite the crop to help this kind gentleman out, but hey, it's good, so glad to get it. That was quite an awesome shot. Another really good one here with this really cool blue color along with the black and red here on this aircraft. It looks like it's slings, so that's a very nice one. Very cool to see that. And you got some more static shots, and again, we'll do a full video on that. So here's a couple of teases towards them, but I believe we have a couple more aircraft in motion like this guy. And we also have this really cool Cessna, might be like a or maybe like a 208 or whatever, or I'm sorry, 206 or whatever it may be. So that's pretty cool. Another nice tail dragger, and another Warrior for good measure, Cherokee. And here's this really cool tail dragger as well. That's a really good color on it for the, I'm not exactly sure what it would be. Another really cool Bonanza, looking strong, 6'6" Tango Charlie. And a U.S. Air Force RV-8. Thank you for having it on the nose. I would have forgot that one too. But hey, it's really cool to see. So that's really cool. Nice livery as well. Another really nice enhanced, this would be, let's see if I can get it off the top of my head. Dang it, it's seat 6. I want to say maybe it's a, darn it. I would have known this probably a year ago. Dang it. I'm a little GA deficient right now. I've been too busy with the civilian aircraft. That's frustrating. I should know that. I really should. I'm sorry, everyone. I really should know that, but I can't think of it. And another nice Cessna of sorts. It's got a Braniff International logo on it. So pretty interesting there. And the Super Guppy, of course, for good measure to finish it out. So I really hope all of you enjoyed this first spotting video at Oshkosh. We have a bunch of really exciting spotting coming up with the Wednesday events along with Sunday as well, and a couple others. So hope all of you are excited to see it. It's going to be a blast, and I am really excited for it. With all that being said, that'll do it for today's video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love and love what you do? My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon as Redriveraviation is signing off.